Welcome to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. I'm Rick Rittmer, your hardworking mortgage guy, and I've been in real estate and mortgages for over 34 years. My team and I believe in custom tailored loans, not the one-size-fits-all approach. We believe there is a right mortgage for you, and we believe we are the team to deliver it.
And I'm Ian Arnold, part of Rick's hardworking mortgage team. I've been in the financial industry for 15 years, helping customers rebuild their credit to get the best possible interest rate. And I have a passion in helping secure your overall real estate dreams. And also, if you're anything like me, pay your home off even faster.
And if you have any real estate questions or you'd like to talk about mortgages, please go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. All of my information is there. Or you can give us a call at 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And today we have Rochelle Perkins.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And Rochelle's a phenomenal agent, doing extremely well. Mm-hmm. And you're with the Garnet group.
Yes.
But it's Rochelle Knows Indy.
Yes. As a solo agent, I am Rochelle Knows Indy across all platforms. Really, it's just Facebook and Instagram. I'm social media platformed out.
Yeah.
I'm done. And then my brokerage is the Garnet Group. I am the managing broker. I've got a business partner who's my co-owner, and then we've got 3 agents as well. Awesome. So we're all solo agents.
Yeah. So you got your own little group, mm-hmm. which that's got to be fun.
It's very fun. In this particular climate, we are just focusing on ramping up and being ready because things have slowed down quite a bit, you know. But I think, we're ready to weather the storm.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's really, that's the best thing to do is get ready because mm-hmm. I've been in this a long time mm-hmm. and it goes up and it goes down. Mm-hmm. And when it goes down, you got to get prepared, get better mm-hmm. so that when it gets busy, you're better at what you do. And you've gone through the busy times, so you kind of know where you lack.
Yeah.
So let's go backwards and let's find out more about you of where'd you grow up? How did you get, what did you do before real estate? How did you get into real estate?
So I am basically Indianapolis born and raised. I lived in California as a kid until I was like 5 and then came back here. So it doesn't really count. I went to Ben Davis High School. From there, went to Marion University. I'm an overachiever. Immediately went and got my master's degree at 25 years old because I wanted to be done with school. Don't want to go back. Been there, done that. Got a t-shirt and the debt to prove it. So from there, I kind of started working at a bank as just a teller while I was in college, and kind of just worked my way up. And went to another small credit union, which is where I really got my passion for financial service, because we did things that were not in the box. We did credit counseling, we did credit restoration, we did credit repair. We truly helped people and served people with financial literacy. We did financial workshops. We taught people basically everything except the mortgage piece. So there's been times my time there when I was a financial counselor, I've helped people go from the 400s to the 700s on their credit score.
Awesome.
With just a little diligence, because once your credit gets bad, you can't get anything else. You can't make it worse, really.
Right.
And so we kind of demystified that process. And then I had always wanted to get into real estate, probably for the wrong reasons, watching HGTV, that kind of thing. But
it looks easy.
Yeah, it looks so easy. But I initially had that dream in 2010. So I'm 22 years old, still a little too feisty to be professional. So I kept my career in banking and then decided, you know what? There's a few life mottos I have, and one is ain't nothing to it but to do it. And I just decided I'm taking care of myself. If I can't do that, it's not like there are other people depending on me. So right. I just decided I'm going to jump in full time. I quit my job. Don't recommend that necessarily. But I quit my job. I jumped in full time. And the rest is kind of history. it took me 4 years to be kind of an overnight success in real estate.
Okay. So you quit your job, which means you had to earn money.
Had to.
Right. So what did you do? What was your process? What did you do to get off the ground? Because it's a tough business to get off the ground in.
I did everything everyone said they were successful at. I did everything. I did open houses. I would go into banks and do mortgage day because, of course, I'm comfortable in a bank. Right. So I would stand in the lobby with candy and a prize wheel and give out giveaways and just beg people to talk to me about real estate. I did videos on social media before everybody were like, videos are a thing you got to do. I did it all. Any way that I could get somebody to talk to me about real estate is what it was about. And I wanted people to associate my name with real estate. So like when you think of real estate, I wanted you to be like, I know somebody. I know Rochelle. I'm gonna call her and ask her a question. And I just took everything I could get and I took it as because as long as a consumer was talking to me about it, I was like, okay, we're here. Right, yeah. This is the lead, whether it works out or not. And so everything short of like creating an OnlyFans or something, but everything else.
What was your most successful or couple most successful pieces that you did?
I would say my social media was probably the most successful thing I did. And the reason why is because I didn't curate my social media the way you think you should. I would have conversations with people offline, like people that are not in this business, people that know nothing about this business. And I would listen to what they think the real estate process is. And I would, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there, they kind of all run in the same vein. But what I would do is take their language and how they talk about it and then tell them what the truth is. Okay. In their words, right? Because it helps them wrap their mind around it easier. And I think one of the biggest things in this industry right now, which hence the lawsuits, is consumers don't understand real estate. And they don't understand our business. They don't understand our business model. And so that's how we, as an industry, are facing the class action right now, the class action lawsuit that I won't dig too far into because I haven't read much, but I know a little. But
to be dangerous.
Yeah,
right?
I think the main key when someone is looking to hire a real estate agent, looking to hire a mortgage loan officer, they just want to know that they can trust you. And the easiest way to do that is to build rapport is by speaking their language and not talking over them with a bunch of stuff you heard other realtors say.
Okay. Yeah. That makes total sense. And that's worked well.
Very well.
And you still do that on most social media, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. And it's just easier for me to pick my phone up, shoot a video, and speak in my voice. Yes. Versus some curated content, somebody who doesn't know me wrote for me. The one thing I rejected the most, and I know I said I did everything to get business, I also did not follow scripts. Because they weren't written by me. They're not in my language. I can say what the script says. I'm just not going to read it verbatim because that's not how I speak.
Right. Yeah. I would fully agree with you. Yeah. I've done a lot of sales trainings and everything. Yeah. I am not a script person. We'll do ads for the show and I'll look and try to read the script and I'll mess up so much because I'm so used to going off the cuff with the flow and just however I normally talk, I just go with it.
Absolutely. And I think having an authentic brand is going to lead more people to you than watching this podcast and trying to do everything I told you to do. I think, and I also explain to my agents, amplify who you are because people want to know who you are before they buy anything you're selling. And so that's what I try to communicate.
Yeah. They want to know who you are. They want to know they can trust you.
Absolutely.
That's what this podcast really is about, is trying to let your personality get out there where people get to know who you are. Yeah. That's what matters.
Yeah, because our clients spend a couple of months with us, and if we don't like each other, this is going to be a long road.
Yeah. Neither one of you wants that.
Right. Nobody wants that.
Nobody
wants that.
So you did all that stuff to get going. So just for new agents that are thinking about getting in the business, how long did it take you to get your first deal?
Oh, this is unfair. I had my first deal before I left my job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with the second one.
Cheat code. My second deal probably came about 2 months later.
Yep.
And even that is kind of fast when you think about the average.
Yeah, it is.
So my first year I did 18 transactions.
Which is huge.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot. Please, if you take nothing else from this podcast, if you're a new agent, 18 deals in your first year is a lot. Okay. I own a brokerage and I want to recruit agents, but I also want to be honest. I'm not going to come in and tell you you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. You're not, especially in the environment we're in now. When I got in, I think rates were like at 4.5, maybe 5. Now they're above 7. After people were very comfortable with them being in the 3s. So adjust your mindset when you get into this business. But yeah, I think my first year I did 18 deals. Second year somewhere around there, things really took a turn. I believe my fourth or fifth year I did like 115.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
great job.
Mm-hmm. And that was a lead from another agent from my Facebook. She was looking for an agent in Indianapolis, and she referred me a client in 2020. Shopping with him, world shuts down. He goes back home and decided to just work remotely, which was fine. And then she's like, well, I have another client and I like your social media. Your social media presence is not stuffy. It's very authentic. It's genuine. And I think you'd be a good fit for this client. And the rest was history.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I think you might say that, hey, that's not normal or something, but you did stuff that's a little not normal. Like you said, when you first started going, you were doing open houses. You're walking into banks, sitting at a desk or a desk table, trying to get whatever you can. So many people, I think, and I think it's one reason why we see a mass decline. What is agents? 90% agents in the first 3 years drop out of being from being realtors. Is they're not doing all that hard work. So your hard work, yeah, it took a little bit, but then it finally pays off.
Yes, absolutely. And I think a big thing that, we as realtors, and even in just being an independent contractor at all, if you have something to sell, is you have to get over the fact that people don't want to hear from you. People do want to hear from you. They do want to know what you're doing. They do want to see that you are the expert, and what other way to demonstrate being the expert than talking about what you do in your industry. And I think a lot of times people just get afraid to talk. And I don't know if that's a byproduct of society, but there's so many different mediums to talk. Like, you don't have to get on camera. You could do voiceover videos. You could write blogs. You could be on a podcast that is audio. But you have to get over not wanting to hear your voice, not wanting to see yourself on camera, and thinking that people don't want to talk to you.
Most people are very interested in real estate.
Sure.
It matters to them whether they have a house or they want to buy a house. Real estate's important. So the vast majority of people want to talk about it. I always find that's a harder thing with mortgages, because most people don't really want to talk about mortgages till they need to talk about a mortgage, right? Other than that, we don't really want to talk about it.
So I don't want you to be that secret agent. I want you to still work hard. Sure. What's the best way somebody get in contact with you?
They can call me or text me. My phone number is 765-609-7316. I am in Indy. It's just when I signed up for that phone, they were out of 317 numbers. So, and then also my social media platforms, just Facebook and Instagram, Rochelle Knows Indy, Rochelleknowsindy. And that's on Facebook and Instagram at Rochelle Knows Indy.
Yeah, Rochelle Knows Indy. That's a good one. First of all, Rochelle's a good name because not a lot of people have it. So it's
bingo.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's weird because Rick is a pretty good name now too, because nobody really has Rick anymore.
Right.
And if you would like to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. You can look up our information there. You can give us a call at 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And thanks for listening to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. The gurus we interview share valuable insights. They reveal their strengths, personalities, and how they'll work for you. While we hardworking mortgage guys secure your best mortgage, real estate gurus work hard too. They avoid problems the amateurs don't see. They listen and they find unrealized opportunities. If you're buying or selling a home, a real estate guru is a valuable asset. If you're even thinking of buying or selling a home, keep listening and definitely call one of Indy's real estate gurus.
All right, Rochelle. So I do have a question for you. It's going to be a tough one because I'm going to take away your phone for 24 hours. You cannot use it.
Okay.
What do we catch you doing for fun?
Oh, watching the worst reality TV. Right now, I'm knee deep in Sister Wives, and things are off the rails.
I never really got into the full reality shows. Like, I'll even watch some TV shows. My wife will see me watching something and she'll be like, oh, the drama. I go, hey, I'd rather watch drama there than over drama with us. So I'll take that.
Yeah. It's so good. And honestly, it kind of just became my mindless pleasure. You know, we work really hard in this industry. And so when I have free time, I don't want to think. Yep. I just want to soak up the mess of other people's lives.
So what is that show called?
It's called Sister Wives.
What's it about?
It's about a polygamous family they're now in Flagstaff, Arizona. They used to be in Utah, but they started the show maybe 10, 11 years ago, and they were advocates for polygamy, and now not so much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why that doesn't work.
Oh, yeah. One guy with 4 wives?
No, I can't imagine why that is a problem at all. That is something.
Yeah.
So what would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
Ooh. My superpower is staying level-headed. I just don't really get riled up much. I don't really panic often. Things happen and I don't know, something about my brain can just clarify things and I'm okay. Like, it's not one of my other favorite, you guys will get a lot of quotes from me here. One of my other favorite things to say is, but did you die though? So, you know, and this industry has so many ups and downs. The real estate market, it's up, it's down. You never know, like, what new news is going to come out. And I just kind of stay the course. That's probably another thing. It's my endurance. And I think those are two things that make me successful in this business because I just don't let the pressure get to me. I just, you know, when it's a tough business, but when you just do your job, it's not, you know, and I'm also a systems person. Okay. So I've got a system for everything and I've got my steps and my workflows and all is well.
Well, it has to help a lot to make sure you do, you know, exactly what you got to do to get everything done. And that's a big deal.
Yep. Yeah. I agree, especially you don't have a big team. You said you mostly work, you guys are at the Garnet Group, independent agents. So that is huge by having steps because you can forget stuff very quickly and you never know, that phone call disrupts you in the middle and you're like, wait, I got to do this, that. So steps, I fully agree. Yeah,
I'm a checklist kind of girl. I have to have it and I like the satisfaction of checking it off.
So I mentioned the Garnet Group. So what made you choose the Garnet Group? What made it seem like a great fit for you?
So there's a very roundabout way that we got here. Essentially, me and my business partner decided that we could go out on our own, you know, and it's funny how messages get delivered to you. I had a few conversations over like a month's time before she even mentioned that we should go independent. And I was out at a few events and a couple times people pulled me to the side and they're like, so when are you going to launch your own brokerage? And I'm like, who told you to ask me that? Who told you? And it happened like 5 times in the course of 1 month. And it's like, okay, I get it. I will do it. So I take my managing broker training, and then like she said it, and I was like, it's funny. I've had all these conversations. So we decided to open, and really, like the way we came up with the name of it is a great story. A lot of people like to hear it, so I'll tell you. We hired someone because we were like, we just can't think of a name. We didn't want it to be our names because it's not our thing. We wanted it to be something that wasn't so tied and anchored to us. So we wanted something different. So we hired somebody to think of a name. Hated the name she came up with. So, but I was like, okay, we kind of have something here. And both of our birthdays are in January. And one thing that we bond over is both of our moms' health had, gone a little to the wayside at the same time. They ended up in the same hospital, on the same floor, in the same hallway at the same time.
Really? Wow.
So me and her were working from the hospital cafeteria on the weak Wi-Fi, getting deals done. But one thing that I joked about one day, I was like, my mom is the only person that ever buys me Garnet stuff. Like my birthstone is January. And I was like, what if we were the Garnet group? And that's how it came about.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
You hire somebody, you can't get a name.
No.
And it just happens.
Yeah. She got my wheels spinning.
Yeah.
But we hated the name she came up with.
So it's worth doing.
It was worth doing.
Yeah.
Because, we paid her and still ultimately thought of it, but I don't think we would have thought of it without her. So
Yeah. So that's worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. For the hardworking mortgage guy, I just had a marketing guy that I was working with, and he listened to me. He wrote everything down. He came in one day and goes, "You need to be the hardworking mortgage guy."
I mean,
that's what resonates.
Yeah. And it's self-explanatory. You don't have to do a lot of work to explain your brand story. Like it's just
yeah. It's just too long.
I don't
Sometimes it's too long. Well,
you work hard and you do mortgages.
That's right. That's right. That's what we want people to know. As I get older, though, I'm worried I won't be able to work as hard.
Yeah.
And that keeps happening every day.
That's all right. That's why you got me, right?
Yeah.
What do you like? How do you define your brand? Like,
so, I mean, my personal brand is me. That's why my name is on everything. My face is on everything now. When I first started, I didn't want to put my picture on stuff. I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking there. But now my face and my name are the focal points of my brand. And it's because when you call Rochelle, you're going to get Rochelle. And it was very... So I'll also say this. I need things to be, I don't want to say I'm lazy because I'm certainly not, but I need it to be lazy. I need it to be easy for me to be consistent at it. So I needed my brand to be something authentic. I needed to be able to wake up in the morning and be who I am. And so that is really where my branding came from. It was just like, you know what? My brand is going to be me. It's going to be authentically me. That way I don't feel like I have to suit up and polish myself in order to do my job. I can wake up, I can be myself, I can talk, about the things that I know and do what I need to do. I don't have to be super curated or have a different personality that's not my own.
Yeah.
It's a little refined from my own, but it's still my own personality.
Well, I think it's one of those things where when you're trying to be out there as you have to be, you have to make it's easy for yourself because there's so many things you have to do, and that's not lazy.
Right.
That's just smart.
Yeah.
Right. You have to make it an easy you're very processed. So you have your process, you make your process very easy so that you can do the process. And that way you make it go smoothly for everybody, because having a smooth transaction in real estate is vitally important.
Absolutely. And the biggest compliment I get is like at the end, like, this really wasn't hard at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. I think it's a compliment to somebody when the customer thinks, you know what, I think I could sell real estate. You make it look so easy.
Oh, yeah.
That means you really did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely. And I like my clients to think I'm overpaid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I take no offense.
So you talked about how people look at real estate. You looked at HGTV. What do you think some of the misconceptions by the consumer is of what a real estate agent does?
I think some of the misconceptions are that we can get you from contract to closing in 30 minutes because that's how long those shows are. That we can narrow it down to 3 houses. You pick one and we go and write the offer, and the next day you're getting keys. It's not quite that simple. I think that, people think we just dress up and buy each other drinks and drive nice cars. I would actually, that's a great question. I would love to know what people's perception is of real estate agents. But it's so much more than that. It's understanding the market, it's understanding different neighborhoods, because especially in a unique city like Indianapolis, you can have vastly different neighborhoods on the other side of one street.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's understanding geographically, like different areas and what that means, and different school systems, and what your preferences are, and what's desired, and what's the new thing, and also what's the new trend in decor, and what are buyer preferences looking like now versus, I don't know, maybe last season. And paying attention to what people are seeing online. I made a joke recently, and I hope to not offend anyone, but I blame TikTok for people painting rooms black. I see it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like put down the tricorn black. Because lately when I'm running a lot of comps and looking, I see people painting entire bedrooms, bathrooms black. And that's something that I've seen it on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. And I know that that's a home trend that I hope dies soon. But it's because my preference is bright, light, and, softer palettes. But you have to also understand those things, because you may walk into a listing appointment and they have an all black living room and you're like, so we're going to change this. It's also understanding how to negotiate. It's also understanding how to be a team player, because every single transaction you have a new set of coworkers. And that's probably the biggest thing that you have to understand if you wanted to get into this business. If you hated group work in school, and if you're not playing too well with your coworkers, well, guess what? You have new coworkers and a new boss every time.
All right. So I don't want somebody to paint their house or one of the rooms black without your permission first. So if somebody wants some advice before painting or buying or selling, how can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Via my phone, 765-609-7316. That is my personal cell. Go straight to me. Call or text is fine. And then on my social media is Rochelle Knows Indy on Instagram and Facebook. Rochelleknowsindy. That is Rochelle Knows Indy on Instagram and Facebook.
And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. You can look up our information there, or you can give us a call at 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938.
And now we'll get into the question of the week. And the question of the week is sponsored by, Rick and I, the Hardworking Mortgage Guys, where we believe in helping and supporting you and your realtor by sending constant updates to the loan process. We don't like living in a black hole, so we don't allow you to live in a black hole.
Or in a black room.
Or a black room. No.
Exactly.
No black paint on our walls.
All right. So here is your question. Mm-hmm. What was your first car?
It was a Mazda 626. I believe it was like a 99. And, man, I had so many curbs and mailboxes in that thing.
You didn't like it, did you?
Oh, man. Learning to drive was a fun time. It's also, so it's funny, I got my license, and driving is what made me realize that I need glasses. Because I kept hitting curbs and couldn't see street signs. So I went home one day and I was like, well, I think I need glasses. I keep taking stuff out on the road. And so that's how I found out.
No, wait, when they did your driver's test, they didn't
They
For
did
your
the
license. They didn't do your eye
I
test?
did fine on that, but
Oh.
yeah, very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to think they're only doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, can you see the
yeah.
E, the big E at the top? Yeah.
Can you read that billboard that's 5 feet away? Yeah, I can do that.
It's not that easy. They make me wear glasses to and I don't wear glasses for hardly anything, but they make me wear glasses.
Yes, but when you're 110, they start having a little bit more.
I'll tell you what, if I'm still driving at 110, you better all get off the road.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But so was that your excuse to your parents after they see all the damage on the car and hitting the mailbox and be like, I think I need glasses, Mom and Dad?
Yeah. That was exactly what I was. And I actually also at the same time I had this algebra class and I was sitting in the back and I couldn't see the board and I thought that's why I was bad at it. No, I was bad at it because it was just a hard subject for me.
Yeah, if I only had glasses, I could pass this.
Yeah, if I only had glasses.
I only had glasses.
Yeah.
The glasses make you look smarter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We all need excuses.
Yeah.
I will say, though, it is weird. So when you notice that, so after COVID got done and we start going back to church and everything, well, my church does everything on the screens. And I'm like looking at the screen and I'm like looking at the scripture. And I'm like, honey, is that blurry? Is that just me? She goes, I think you might need to get your eyes checked. Yep. And that's when I found out that I needed glasses. So,
But I had a similar experience. Well, because I see real good, I can see perfect up close, which the eye doctor always says that. But I was sitting in church and it's like they need to focus in on this, on what they were showing.
Yeah.
And my wife looks at me and says, it's perfectly, it was
Yeah.
stupid. It was the way they had it up.
White lettering will reveal yourself every time.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. White lettering normally is like,
on your black paint, I have noticed there are a lot more houses on the outside painted black. Mm-hmm. Is that part of that trend?
I think so. I think TikTok.
See, I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like I've seen some black farmhouses and things like that.
Yeah.
I think it can be done tastefully. But I'm interested to see if that'll remain timeless.
See, that is the big deal. Is if just because it's a trend right now, that's what we'd have decorators come in and they'd say, well, this is the trend. I don't care. I want it the way I want it.
Yeah.
Because when I go to sell, it isn't today and it'll all change.
Oh, yeah.
I just want it the way I want it.
Yeah. So I'm always back and forth. Like, is the black paint trend the red kitchen of the 2000s?
Was it a big deal, Red Kitchen?
You don't remember the red kitchen?
No, I
Oh
don't
my
remember.
God.
I
Like
probably wasn't paying attention.
Early 2000s, it was a red kitchen with the like roosters and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you'll see.
I remember the roosters.
See?
They're kind of back, it
They're
seems
kind
like.
of back. Yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed
So,
that.
I guess if you are going to paint your home black, just stay long enough for it to come back in style.
Or repaint it before you sell.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I will say though, paint has gotten a lot better. It used to have if you did a dark color and you wanted to put something, you had to put four or five layers.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like one layer and you're completely done.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So painting's not too bad.
No, it's not. And that's not to the buyers out there. Painting is not too bad. If you like the bones, but you're going to have to paint over that black master bedroom, it's fine. Just get a gallon bucket from Home Depot and one afternoon and it'll be.
So my recommendation for anybody purchasing a home, especially if you have the opportunity to leave, like my wife and I did it. We had 1 month rent left when we purchased our home. So we slowly transitioned painting and everything without furniture being in the way. Now, I know that's not an option for everybody, but if you can, I highly recommend that because you could slowly move in.
I mean, I think, Ian, you've sat through my buyer's consultation because that is one of the first things I say is you don't want to have to leave one place and move into another on the same day because you're out of time at your rental or your previous home. I did the same thing. I bought and I had about 6 weeks to ease myself into that place. And it was so much easier than having to take a moving truck to closing.
And then for Clarence, says, I have never done her class yet. I might do it now because it looks like we think alike. But
Yeah.
So, what do you consider one of your most memorable deals?
Ooh, one of my most memorable deals. I'm trying not to think of a painful one because we
They're
carry
always memorable.
Yeah, we carry our trauma in this industry. I would probably say, like, my favorite ones are my people that are getting to upgrade out of their starter homes, and they take the benefit of the amount of equity they've gained, and they're able to kind of buy that dream home. This is where we're going to raise our family for the next number of years, and I love that process the most, because that's where we talk about you build equity and home ownership is an investment, but until you see those tangible numbers and how that first home can help you afford that dream home, it's hard for me to quantify it if you haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah, and it's vitally important. When I sold new homes, and when I sold new homes, you get a new buyer in, or and it was like I always tried to educate them on, what you want to do is you want to buy, and if you're the first time home buyer and this is a move up, you're not buying your dream home. So buy the home, put the basics in it. I have a pretty good idea at that time what you needed to put in the house for resale and what you didn't need.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, when somebody comes to buy your house, they expect carpet. And if you put in, 3 times more expensive carpet, it may last longer, maybe easier to live with, but they're not going to pay any more for that.
Nope.
They expect carpet, right? They expect windows, and there's just certain things they expect.
Yeah.
So you try to just, you want to live there, so you got to make it livable for you, make it comfortable and you're happy, but realize it's just a stepping stone.
Absolutely. And I personally, this is my opinion, I think master bedrooms and kitchens sell homes.
Yeah, I see that.
I would agree with that, because let's be honest, the people paying for that home are mostly in the master bedroom and the kitchen. One other thing I think you touched on, but you didn't go into it too much, is especially for first-time home buyers, that home doesn't have to be your forever home.
No, and very rarely will it be.
Yep.
Yeah. We all start somewhere. So my approach when I bought my first home was, this is my first investment property. No matter how long I have to live here, I'm not going to move out of it unless I don't have to sell it to make my next move. And that panned out. I'm currently renting out that first home. But it could also be your stepping stone to be able to get to your dream home. And it's really a long game. That first home is a long game. You get in, you do what you can with it, and you build the equity to be able to move on. And honestly, I bought my home before I got into real estate, and I just told myself it would be an investment property. And then when I got into real estate, I found out how good of an idea that was. Because it's an asset, and now I've got a 2.5% interest rate on the mortgage on it, so that's even better.
Oh yeah, it is very smart thing to do. Now, it's coming from somebody who's lived in their house for 33 years. Okay, and it's my first house.
Oh, nice.
Okay. But I heard a person talking, and it was on some podcast or webcast, and they were saying that the way to wealth, one of the best ways to wealth for people, is do exactly what you just said. They said, buy a home, live there 2 years, make it a rental property, buy another home, live there 2 years. He said, after 10 homes, now I don't think this number's right. He said, after 10 homes, you're a millionaire. I don't think that's accurate, but if you did that, you have 5 homes that you're renting out. And if you have, it's amazing how much income that can give you.
Oh, yeah.
And how much equity it gives you, that especially when most people are not going to have 2.5% interest rate, but that's an incredible rate.
If you're a buyer shopping now, close your ears. Also, if you're a buyer shopping now, I don't want to rub it in your face, but my first home was move-in ready, and it was only $68,000.
Yeah, see, that's changed too, right?
That's changed a big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
What also you didn't mention, and Rick and I've had this conversation, is how much you're getting paid.
Yeah.
I go, so people want to say, oh, the homes have gone, I think the average in my board, which is right around Indianapolis and the surrounding counties, is roughly about 255. Okay. Well, yeah, you go back 10 years, it wasn't that high. But you went back 10 years and you were getting paid probably $7 an hour working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Now you're getting, I drive by, I haven't applied, but you drive by and you see starting salary $16 an hour. Okay. That just almost 2.5 times what you were getting paid.
Yeah. And it's reflected in the market. So homes are about 2.5 times more expensive than they were 10 years ago. Yeah.
That's what happens. That's why pay increases are not the end all for everything, because as they increase, everything increases.
Oh, yeah.
You want to at least stay up with it, you know, and then get better jobs. But speaking of jobs, I know you have a little bit. You have a company. You have three members on that, plus your partner. So tell us about like that. You know, how do you run that, and are you looking for people to join your team? And if so, what do you look for?
So we're independent agents. We run kind of independently, basically, but we are full service. My agents can get a hold of me anytime they need me. I'm always, as I learn new things, I'm passing it to them. We have training opportunities. We have agents that are brand new, and then I believe our longest tenured agent is probably 15 years plus. So we take anyone from brand new all the way to experienced. And we're really looking for people who are self-motivated, go-getters, want to run their own business. I always tell my agents, you do not work for me. This is not an employee relationship. I need to say that while an IRS witness is sitting next to me. Because you are an independent contractor, you are running your business, and I am here to champion and cheerlead that in any way you see fit. Because I believe, if you're a longtime listener of this podcast, probably every single guest they've had runs their business differently. And so there is no one way to do it. And so that's really, if you want to find your strength, find your voice, and run your business, then we could be a good fit for you.
Yeah, and it's extremely valuable to have good, solid mentorship in the company. I think
Absolutely.
That's one of the big things that separates those who struggle when they first get in the business, especially, and even when you've got experience, having other people with experience to bounce things off of and talk to and talk through. There's always different things that come up in real estate that maybe somebody else has dealt with and you just never have, and you can get other ideas on how to deal with things.
Yeah, one thing I never like to say is I've seen it all, because I'll see something new 5 minutes later. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we've never seen it all happen.
Never, ever, ever.
So what do you see like the indie market doing, let's say, the next few years? What do you think?
So I think in the next few years, and I've really been thinking about this a lot as home affordability has been at the forefront of the real estate market in Indianapolis specifically. And I've been looking at some of the other metro areas that experienced their boom. That was Austin, Texas, that's Nashville, and kind of looking at what happened there, because while affordability is shrinking in our market, I'm like, so what happened to those people? And Denver is another one that experienced a boom. Like, who knew what Denver was aside from the Broncos? And now all of a sudden, they experienced a big boom. And I was looking at how did that happen, and I think they have leveled out some, but they do still have some affordable inventory. So what I think is going to happen in Indianapolis is our metro area is going to expand. You know, those of us in the Midwest, we love getting places in 20 minutes or less. I think that's going to be a thing of the past, unfortunately. And I think we're going to grow larger and wider as more people migrate to the Midwest. They discover our property taxes and things like that. I don't see home prices going backwards. I think Indianapolis is still outperforming larger segments of the country. I think that and that's hard to hear sometimes, but what I kind of grapple with what major metro area is affordable.
Yeah, it all depends on your incomes.
Yeah, it depends on our incomes compared
and
to
rates.
Yeah,
rates make a difference.
So I see our metro area expanding. I see us getting more attractions, more national businesses coming here, businesses that have a national footprint. And I think it's just going to be a really great place to live. We just have to get through our growing pains of all the traffic and construction first. It'll be a much smoother place to navigate once all the orange cones are put away.
And I hear you're running for office.
I am. So I am running for the District 5 seat on the board of directors at my board. That service area is Western Marion County, Hendricks County, and Morgan County.
Awesome.
Yes.
And when is that election?
Voting takes place September 29th to October 5th.
So have you been out kissing babies? And
I will be out doing all of that. I'll be hitting multiple events, hitting the golf outing. I've got some giveaways to give away. I really want to put my all into this campaign because if I lose, I'm going to lose fair and square.
There you go. Yeah, you put it all in there.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. So I want you to win. I want you to get your name out there. I want you to sell more homes. What's the best way somebody can get in contact with you?
Yeah. So on my social media platforms and my website is also Rochelle Knows Indy. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and RochelleKnowsIndy.com. That is RochelleKnowsindy. And then my phone number is my direct line to my cell phone is 765-609-7316.
And remember, vote for Rochelle Perkins, right? Remember that.
Yeah.
That's who they need to vote for.
Yep. Rochelle for District 5.
Rochelle for District 5. And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can give us a call at 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And please follow us for more Indy's Real Estate Gurus.
Reminder, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refinance, let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you. Rochelle, thank you for joining us on our show. It's been a pleasure having you on.
I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Branch NMLS number 33041. Rick Rittman's NMLS number 6645890. Ian Arnold's NMLS number is 1995469. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions apply.